You ask a chatbot a question about your own company's policy, it answers instantly. It sounds confident, and it's completely wrong. It didn't lie on purpose, it just made something up. There's a word for that. It's called a hallucination, and it's the single biggest reason most AI tools fail the moment you point them at real work. RAG is how you stop it. You've probably heard the term thrown around in a meeting, RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Everyone nods. Nobody asks what it means. So here's what's actually happening under the hood. Start with the problem. A large language model, the thing powering your chatbot, is basically a very well-read guesser. It learned patterns from a huge pile of text, then froze. That's its training data. Ask it about something inside that frozen knowledge, and it does great. Ask it about your company's expense policy, your latest sprint, the contract you signed last Tuesday, and it has no idea. So it guesses confidently. That's the hallucination. Now here's the fix, and it's simpler than it sounds. What if, before the AI answered, you let it look something up first? That's the whole idea. RAG gives the model an open book instead of forcing it to answer from memory. Retrieve the right information. Augment the question with it. Generate the answer from that. 3 steps. That's it. Let's decode each one. Retrieve means search. Before the AI writes a single word, it goes and finds the most relevant documents from your own knowledge base. Your knowledge base is just your company's real information, wherever it lives. Your Confluence wiki, your support tickets, your internal PDFs. The system searches that pile and pulls out the few chunks that actually relate to the question. Think of it as a very fast librarian who grabs the 3 right pages before anyone speaks. But how does it know which pages are relevant? This is the clever part. Every document gets turned into something called an embedding. An embedding is just a way of representing meaning as numbers, so that 2 pieces of text that mean similar things end up close together. Your question gets turned into numbers too. The system grabs the documents whose numbers sit closest to your question's numbers. It's matching by meaning, not by keyword. So a question about time off can still find a document titled Leave Policy, even though the words don't match. Augment is step 2. Now the system takes those retrieved pages and quietly staples them onto your question before handing it to the AI. The model doesn't just see, what's our refund window? It sees your question plus the actual paragraph from your actual policy doc. The answer is now sitting right there in front of it. It barely has to think. It just has to read and phrase. Generate is step 3. The AI writes the answer, but now it's grounded. Grounded means the response is built on the real documents you gave it, not on a frozen guess from training. And the good systems will even cite the source so you can click through and verify. The confident made-up answer becomes a confident correct one. Let me make this concrete. Picture a support team at a mid-sized software company. Call it Northwind. Their agents answer the same questions all day. How do I reset SSO? What's covered under the enterprise plan? The answers exist, but they're scattered across 1,000 Confluence pages and 4 years of resolved Zendesk tickets. New hires take weeks to ramp. Senior agents waste hours digging. So Northwind builds a RAG assistant. When an agent types a question, the system retrieves the most relevant Confluence pages and past ticket resolutions, augments the question with them, and generates a clean answer with links back to the source. Ramp time drops. The senior agents stop being a human search engine. And critically, when the assistant doesn't find a relevant document, a well-built system says, I don't know, instead of inventing an answer. That honesty is the point. Which brings us to the limits, because this matters. RAG is not magic. It's only as good as the documents you feed it. If your Confluence wiki is outdated, the AI will confidently retrieve outdated information and present it beautifully. Garbage in, polished garbage out. RAG also doesn't truly reason across your entire company at once. It works with the handful of chunks it retrieved. If the retrieval step grabs the wrong pages, the answer is wrong, and it won't always know. So the unglamorous work keeping your knowledge base clean, organized, and current is exactly the work that makes RAG actually deliver. The AI is the easy part. Your documentation is the hard part. So why does any of this matter to you? Because nearly every useful AI tool you'll touch at work this year is RAG underneath. The assistant that answers questions about your codebase, the bot that summarizes your Jira backlog, the tool that drafts a reply from your internal docs. They all do the same 3 steps: retrieve, augment, generate. Once you can see those 3 moves, you stop being impressed by the demo and start asking the right question: what is it actually retrieving from? And is that source any good? Because here's the thing, you ask a chatbot a question about your own company's policy. With RAG, it looks it up first, and this time, it's right.